I almost can't believe it. It's going to be August. So that means we have passed the 6-month mark. So we have August, September, October, November, December. We have 5 months, you guys. Oh, it seems so weird. So I didn't know that things would end up this way, but they did. We'll go over our monthly budget for July because we're going to close that out, see what we need to work on for the month of August, and hopefully go forward with that. Okay. I will say now it is going to be a lot easier, hopefully, as time goes on because we did the switch and things will change. So that releases my husband to be able to find a full-time job. There will be still the DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Spark, Instacart, all the things going on. But hopefully this will mean that we have 2 full-time workers, hopefully in the next foreseeable few weeks. Okay? Lots of interviews, lots of deciding. We need to decide what is going to work best for our family, not just financially, but schedule-wise. Because most people don't talk about that. They don't talk about, hey, what if mom or dad has to be home on the weekends during the summertime for a specific 10-year-old? Just saying. Okay, so we have to pick something that is going to work for our schedules. My schedule, because I work in food, I'm a waitress making $15 an hour plus tips. Tips are kind of on the low end because I do live in a very small town and the economy sucks. So we've got two scenarios, small town and the economy sucks. But a job's a job and I'm thankful to have my job. Okay, I actually really like my job, you guys. It's going really well. No complaints. Okay, but we did end up marking all these off that got paid. So we paid our space rent, otherwise we wouldn't have, anywhere to put our home because we live in a 1966 single wide in a mobile home park. So someone asked me, why are you not paying market rent? It's because I pay space rent. I do not pay for an apartment or a regular rental situation. And hopefully in the future, whatever we decide to do, we won't have this payment anymore. It'll be more of a mortgage. Okay, definitely not going to be in my state of Oregon, but one can dream. Okay, water, sewage, garbage, they're all due. All 3 of these are due by the 1st. Anything later than the 1st, and you're going to get a late fee. And I think it starts at $25 per entity. So you would get one for space rent, water, and sewage, because these are technically 2 different bills, and then garbage. So that would be $100. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Never been late. Don't like being late. You guys, if you've been here long enough, have seen my mobile home park updates where I have had straight up PTSD over getting those late fees because I've never been late. Okay. Electric, because we don't have gas in this house. Actually, no one in this park can have natural gas. So we have electric. That's how we heat our home, how we cool our home, how we cook, all the things. Someone asked me about what kind of fuel do I use to cook with. Honey, I'm using electric. I don't know where you live in. Don't know where you live in. Let me know in the comments if that's you. Okay. We pay for phones. I pay for 3 lines. People get mad because we pay, actually $240. The bill hasn't gone up in a really long time. And not only that, but I use a lot of data. And the last I checked with all of the folks that I know that do gig working, like DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Spark, Instacart, all the things like Mint Mobile don't work as well. And I don't know about you, but if I'm going to be picking up somebody's groceries or food, or in the past like I have, I'm not going to pick up somebody and then all of a sudden not have internet. That would suck. I've tried using DoorDash with prepaid phones as well, like Straight Talk. Because you got to remember, your data drops after a certain amount of usage. So we also can utilize this as a tax write-off because we drive for a living and we need our phones. Okay? I know, it's hard to hear. But that's the spiel, and I'm leaving it at that. No need to talk about anything else in that realm. Internet is $65. Supposedly this was supposed to go up, but it hadn't, so we're leaving it at $65 for the next month as well. Car insurance. Someone asked me why we pay so much for liability. I don't just have liability, I do have car rental. I do have AAA, and I guess I didn't take off the roadside assistance because I figure if AAA doesn't come through, gotta have something, okay? Especially when you drive for a living, you need to have all the options. So that's why our insurance is higher. Also, my husband and I do not have a car payment because we were in an accident in December of last year, and our 2020 Kia Sportage was completely totaled. So that is another reason why the insurance is higher. But doing the calculations, I'll show you. It's not much. Without the driving accident, they would have charged us, my goodness, I can't even talk, $96 times 2 a month. So realistically, it didn't go up much more. Also, if you drive for a living and you don't have a licensure, which states that you are covered, because if you're in an accident during work, you want to be covered, because if you're doing DoorDash and your insurance finds out and you didn't pay that extra money, you might be boned. Just saying. So I just take every precaution, and yeah, couple bucks here, couple bucks there, but I'm used to paying high car insurance for the last 5 years because I drove a brand new car at one point in time, which was stupid with a bunch of zeros on the end. But let me tell you, one day when I have the guts to tell you why I bought the car, other than I needed to sleep in it, you'd understand. But that's not today. Home insurance is $68. It's high for what we have, but it's because we have to have high liability living in a mobile home park. Okay? Personal bills and debts, I usually put $300. That's been a thing. I did pay $150 to this, and then I stuffed $300, so we're actually a little ahead of the game, and that's okay because we got some things changing. Okay? Subscriptions, $55 has been paid. The last credit card I have, which has a maximum balance, not what the balance is $1,000. It actually went up to $11 because they upped the limit, which is not what I wanted, but they're like, here, have another $100 to not spend because you haven't been using your credit card, lady. But all in all, just to live, we pay $18.27. Now, if I was paying market rent, it'd be a heck of a lot more than this. But because I own my home and I have space rent, saves my butt. Okay? We also spent money on summer with the kids. We could not go to the fair. The fair is over. So that's okay. It is what it is. We got caught up in other things. We had people come visit us and all the things. Okay? So we didn't do the fair. No, there was no $100 left over. Someone's like, but if you didn't spend the money, we didn't have the money. Let me tell you, honey, we just didn't have it. So if you ever see something with a line in it that's red, We didn't have the money. We didn't do it. Okay. We did get the new wallet, and I got printer paper. So going on to August budget. So space rent is still $550 until our new lease, which I think is in like June. June 1st is when the new lease will start. And it'll go up 10% every year as long as we live here underneath the new management's stuff. Contract. There we go. Words. Tired. Sorry. Water, sewage, they're actually two separate bills. We're going to say 60, 30 a piece, because even though I tend to hit the $22 to $25 range, I want to make sure we have extra because we did water the lawn. And we also jumped through the sprinkler. Okay. Also, garbage is $33. I do not have regular recycling. I have a trash can, and I have recycling for cardboard because that's all they would recycle in this park. So, there's that. I am going to say $170 for electric because we do use electric for heating and cooling. I think that that's pretty fair considering I've been trying to run it during the very hot days and it's been running all day. We recently had our house weatherized, so I'm hoping with all the new insulation, it'll be less than this in the 160 range like it was before. I could do that. That would work out. And it's also been very, very nice and cool in here. Okay. Internet is $65. Phones are $248. Part of this was that my husband did get an upgrade on his phone. His phone was no longer charging like it should have. He'd had it for a very, very long time. I think probably 7 years, something like that. And he finally needed a new one. He thought he had an upgrade, but we're actually paying like $20 of this to the phone. Okay. And I also pay for a phone for my dad. He also does gig working as well. Home insurance is $68. Personal debt is $150. I am knocking down my personal debt from $300 to $150, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I would love to pay $300 a month, but realistically, $300 a month times 12 months is quite the amount of money. I don't have that in my $15 an hour job income with the tips because I just don't. So I'm going to be nice to myself, give myself grace for now, go down to the $150, which is the minimum. I did not know this, but in the state of Oregon, if you're on a payment plan for medical, dental, they can still garnish you if they don't feel like your payment is good enough. And I actually found that that's in most states. I'm not getting garnished as of anything right now. Not getting garnished. If you say I'm getting garnished in the comments, I'm going to get really pissed off and I'm just going to delete your comment. Not going to lie, I'm just transparent. Okay, so not getting garnished, but I'm knocking it down to the bare minimum to be able to survive the month of August. Okay, my very last credit card, they actually gave me a little jump up. They said your new credit card limit is $1,100, but we have done the fluctuation of this. Okay, I've been paying a little extra, and then it gets eaten up by interest, and then some of it gets paid off, and all the different, the credit card dance. It's my last one. We're gonna be nice. We're gonna say $80. Okay, that seems fair. That is well over my minimum payment for this card. I believe the minimum payment on that card is like $65 or $60, something like that. So we're still paying over the amount to hopefully kick the interest rate in the butt. Okay. But ultimately, this is still way low comparatively to what it used to be, which was $900 and something, okay, on that balance. By the way, my 14-year-old son came up to me and tried to tell me after using Google that I should only use a certain percentage of my credit cards and and all the things, which is very sweet, and I know these things as a grown person who's been budgeting on, social media for the last 3 years and doing it in my personal life for much longer. But I told him life happens and it is what it is. Not that he knows that I'm in any sort of, because I'm really not in large credit card debt anymore, you guys, let's be real. It's like, I think with interest right now, it's like $600 and something. That's all I owe to the credit cards. And then I have personal debts, which is what this is for. Okay. So because we missed the fair and I put in a bargaining chip. Okay. I put in a bargaining chip with the kids and the husband. And they were like, we didn't do one last thing for summer that we always do. So how are you going to make up for it? So let's get into that. Before I show you what this is, let's open this Happy Meal from my good friend Cindy. And she's so very sweet. This has already been opened by my husband because he's a paranoid person. If you want to figure out what my P.O. box is, please let me know in comments down below. I was leaving it in the description box, but people got mean. So what can I do? Anyway, so this came from Cindy. It's a little late, Cindy. I apologize. Life was lifing. Okay. Dear Amanda, here is a collection of A and J bucks. If you don't know what that is, it is the letter right here. Okay, so J is for Jordan. And then we also have A bucks. Dang, Jordan, you finally got some. She's been saving J and A bucks for us, which is very sweet. Very, very sweet. And, whew, look at all these. Holy cow. I won the lottery too. It's quite a bit, Cindy. Thank you so much, girl. You have no idea. Thank you, thank you. So she has instructions on what to use this for. But Cindy, I know you're going to be okay with this when I say it. Okay? She also sent the 50. She said the A and J bucks are for you and your new wallets. As usual, Jordan, don't spend it all in one place. Very sweet. She always says that. Included is $50 for the fair. Not sure when it is, so I hope it gets there in time. Looking forward to seeing your bathroom reveal, Cindy. Thank you so much, Cindy. You're so sweet. So Cindy is not going to be mad because Cindy tried to make this happen. I believe last year. Okay, so these are for the wallets. We'll leave them be. All right, Cindy, the $50. She really tried to get us to do this last year. But car accidents and life happened and winter and all the other things. So we are going to go to Comic-Con instead. We're going to go to Comic-Con, and this is the starter of this, and we'll go in September. So Comic-Con, if you don't know what Comic-Con is, you're not a nerd. I have a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 30-some-odd-year-old man who would literally hit the floor if we could go to Comic-Con in September. So we're going to be kind to ourselves, and this is what we're doing. At this point, little Jay, my 14-year-old's like, this comes before clothes for school. I'm like, no, child, no. You gotta have your boxers and your socks and a couple of pairs of Levi's and a pair of shoes at least. But thank you, Cindy, so very much for this. You have no idea. We're gonna go to Comic-Con. We're gonna dress up like superheroes. I have all of the superhero costume ideas, and we can use them again for Halloween. So that's two birds with one stone right there. So Comic-Con, let's budget it for ourselves. So this actually isn't going to be until September. Okay. We will have to take a bus because I'm not going to drive my old junker car to the city, the big city. So it's $55 times 4 of us. So that's $220. And then the entry to get in is $20 a piece. So 20, 40, 60, 80. So plus 80. I know I looked 5, right? So plus we have a place to stay, but we need to figure out food. So we'll say, I'm going to say $150 for food and all the different things. So we'll need $400. So let's split this up. So we'll divide that between 2. Well, that didn't work. So $450. So we already have 50 of it. So minus 50 divided by 2. I know someone's, it's $200. Dollar Tree calculators in their finest. Okay. Someone's going to hate me for that in the comments. Come at me, girl. Come at me. Or dude. Whatever. Come at me because this is one thing that they want to do. And I don't get asked to do much often. Okay? So, I know. We're sacrificing some things. So, the other thing is going to be back to school. Okay, I'm not going to be buying a lot this year. We've sifted through everything we have. We don't need all of the things like I thought. Also, I do have to say that there are other parents, and we do have a grandparent involved in this. So we have already had some stocking up in the summertime. We also try our best to just buy throughout the year when it comes to clothes as they're needed if we can. And I'm a thrifty lady, so I like sales, I like thrift stores, I like yard sales, I like all the things. So I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and say $150 this time around. And then I'll probably in September, because we won't have any of these plans other than, well, I guess other than Comic-Con, we'll see what I can get for $150 and then we'll go from there. One of my kiddos really just needs pants and a pair of shoes and socks. The other one needs 2 pairs of pants, some socks, and some boxers, and I think he wanted a hoodie. Other than that, they're good. They're covered. I am not paying for school supplies this year. That is the other party. Okay? Remember, I told you before, if you've been here long enough, we switch. Okay? So, I'm doing my due diligence in that. I'm very thankful that I do have a very thrifty dad as well. So, he found a lot of really good deals, you guys. Really good deals. If you didn't see me unbox the shoes that he sent, that was just one box he sent. He got Adidas, Nikes, he got Vans shoes. They were very, very lightly worn for $2 a piece. You couldn't even tell. Okay? Really. So there's that. Next is going to be Rudy. And Rudy is going to go to the vet, and he's going to get, we have a program in our area where they get vaccinations and they also get fixed for $65. Okay? $65. And that'll likely come from hopefully a finished savings challenge, but that is the budget. That's all the things. Okay? So Rudy is scheduled to go to the vet in the 4th week of August. So we have pretty much the whole month. Okay? But overall, that's my monthly budget. You'll probably ask me where's my gas money and my food money and all the other things. That's what this is for. If you didn't go watch that video, it's up and ready. Okay? So we didn't fail. We didn't do terrible. We just didn't go to the fair. And that's okay, because we're a low-income family and sometimes we gotta skip the things. But we're not skipping Comic-Con, okay? And then that's it. We can add it all up. So $550 plus 60 plus 33 plus 170 plus 65 plus 228, right? Did I do that right? I don't like this calculator all that much. So 550 plus 60 plus 33 plus 170 plus 65 plus 228 plus 68 plus 150 plus 80. So all in all, the minimums to survive with the bills, we have to make $16.52. Okay. And mind you, I live in a very high tax state, so someone always likes to do the math somewhere about how much I make. You're leaving out the taxes, friend. Okay, you're leaving out the taxes. And then for variable stuff, it's 200 plus 150 plus 65 is $415. Okay. And if we do weekly wallets based off of this, which we're still working on this is a work in progress. So it'd be 65 or 365 times 4 would be 1460. So we'll just do weekly wallets, question mark, big question mark, because this is still, so our weekly wallets all together, so monthly. Okay, so this number plus these, so 16.2. Why did it not do that? 1652 plus 415 plus 1460. That's how much we'd need. So budgeted, projected monthly total would be 3,200 or 3,000. Darn it. Why is this not working? There we go. Right? 3,200. Why did I write 2 again? Darn it. This is my ADHD tired self. $527. Okay. So divided by 2, I'd have to make or we would have to make as a household. So bi-weekly would be 1,000, we'll do this, $1,763.50. You guys saw that a 4-week check was about $1,400 and some change. Well, almost exactly $1,400 and change with tips and all the other things. So we might be doing a little bit more DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Spark, Instacart, all the things, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 A-bucks. So 16 A-bucks can go into my wallet. All right. In his wallet. Okay. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Jordan. Hey, I won. $10. Okay. And I said 16 on this, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Haha, yep. So $16 that we can utilize in one of our, or throughout the month for the weekly wallet cash stuffing or bi-weekly, however we're going to do the thing. Okay? So, as always, you can only do what you can with what you got because it really is all you have to work with. Life is hard. If it's hard for you right now, it's hard for us. As you can see by the numbers, we got a lot of work to do. I will say a good positive before the end of this video is anything we make from today, which is the 21st, as I'm recording this video, to the end of the month, can go towards these bills. Okay, so there is a positive silver lining to this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Wish me luck on DoorDash and Spark, because those are the ones that are paying. Bye.